initial phase, it's all about business understanding. We try to determine the key business variables which the analysis is attempting to predict and optimize. We call these model targets. Examples of model targets could be sales for the next year, ranking of stores by footfall, probability of an equipment failure in a manufacturing plant, etc. As a next step, we investigate the existing data assets and pick the relevant inputs required for our purposes. If we find them inadequate, then we work on getting additional data from other apps internally or even from external sources if required. At the end of this phase, we deliver the project charter with clear and measurable objectives, pick the required data sources, and determine the variables and put them in a data dictionary document. In the next phase, we work on bringing the data in and understanding it better. We look at the data quality. Every variable in the mix is explored individually as well as in tandem with other variables. We visualize the patterns via various plots and check for discrepancies such as outliers, missing values, etc. We have tools built within Synapse Studio for this purpose. We also use tools such as Power BI to communicate our exploration and data insights to the stakeholders. This process is iterative, and we work with the stakeholders on this data preparation and cleansing until everybody is satisfied on the quantity and the quality of the data that will be used for the downstream processes. Then we set up the pipelines and data flow from the source on a regular basis. The frequency could be hourly, twice a day, or daily based on the requirements. During the model development, we attempt to discover new variables from the data. It's called the feature engineering. We either split the existing ones or join one or more of them to derive meaningful features which add value to the experiments and the final outcome. The model training phase is where the major chunk of the work is done. We split the data into training and test data sets. Depending on the target variables, we apply multiple machine learning algorithms on the training dataset and come out with various models. We use regression, neural networks, decision trees, random forests, etc. over multiple spreads. To determine the predictive power of the models, we run them over the test data and compare how the prediction fares vis-a-vis the actuals. One or more models which most closely matches with the actuals are selected for deployment into production. And finally, in the deployment phase, we install the models from the development into production environment and apply them on the production data. Visuals are built to view the outcomes. The model outcomes are carefully monitored and the feedback is used to improve the models. This cycle goes on until a fully optimized model evolves. We also train and handhold the stakeholders on using the data pipelines, models, and the visuals for a couple of weeks after deployment so that they can get comfortable with them.